everybody. I'm Aaliyah Michelle.
And I'm Purple. And this is Cocktails and Combo
with Purple
and Lee. Alright, so this is like a real impromptu episode. For those of you who don't, I think everybody probably knows. If you're on social media, you probably know what's going on with all the looting and the protesting and all of that by now. So I made a post that sparked this episode conversation between me and Lee. But before we get into that, we're actually going to show you guys a video behind us. Just to, I don't know, it was a video that spoke to me. Lee said she was cool with us showing it. And then we're going to tell our opinions about that and a couple of other topics. So let's do that first.
What we worried about this material, but we won't stand up for motherfuckers. They get killed on the daily basis.
Talk to me. I understand. How old are you?
I'm tired of this.
How old are you?
I'm 45 years old.
45 and I'm 31.
And I'm tired of seeing
and
this
you
shit,
the
man.
older generation than me, and I am too.
And we've been standing
But
around
let me tell you
as the
something.
older ones, taking all this bullshit. Always hoping for a kumbaya fucking y'all.
Come here.
Always standing around for a kumbaya. Ain't nobody coming to protect us.
Let me tell you
We gotta
something.
start our own fucking life.
I understand. But let me tell you something right here. This 16. He's 16.
Oh my
They gonna
God.
kill him next
He's
week.
16.
What we gonna do?
You tell me.
What we gonna
But
do?
this ain't the way. Because they ready to let loose. If the United States president say, if you loot, we shoot. Do you think doing this going
I
on?
know it.
You doing this
I
going
know
on?
it. But it's time to stand up.
So don't get it going
At
on.
this point, I'm ready to die.
me tell
But
you
what's
something.
going on?
Let me tell you something.
That's the problem that we got.
That you see right now, it's gonna happen 10 years from now. And at 26, you're gonna be doing the same thing I'm doing. You understand that? 10 years. You're gonna be right here too.
But he also got to
So
stand
what I
up
need
for what he
y'all
gotta
to
stand
do
up
right
for.
now at 16 is come up with a better way. Cause how we doing it, it ain't working. He angry at 46. I'm angry at 31. You angry at 16.
It's over, man. It's over,
You
man.
understand me?
It's over.
Putting yourself in harm's way
I
is
know
not
it.
the way.
No, it's not.
You and then other your counterparts the same age and that has that same power. Y'all come up with a better way. Cause we ain't doing it.
Oh my God.
And I have a 5-year-old son.
Oh my God.
And it ain't happening. I marched 4 years ago. Keep Lamont Scott did the same shit y'all doing. The same exact thing night after night after night. It don't matter. Come up with a better way. You understand?
Alright, so that was a video that Famous, for those of you who don't know Famous, he like our director slash producer slash guy in the background doing silly stuff. But he posted it to his page. I saw it. It resonated with me. So just to piggyback on that. So alright, so let's start from where the live came about. So I made a post this morning, and what it said was, want to prove we're not all the same? Get your peoples together and go downtown and help clean up after our less educated peers. So, you know, downtown looks crazy. So, and then Aaliyah made a few comments. If you guys, so I'm not going to go through all the comments because it's 46 of them, real life. And it is. And it's not just Aaliyah, other people chimed in, like people do on posts. But I think Aaliyah touched on the less educated part, so we're going to get into that. She also said something about solutions and judgment and all of that stuff, so we're going to get into those. So I think the very first comment that was made, don't quote me, like I said.
You want to connect to the TV? Do you want to connect?
Yes, you could connect to the TV.
Well, I mean,
Well,
you
I
have to
have to
connect.
connect.
Yeah, I'm going to disconnect. Yeah, I'm gonna
So you
disconnect.
guys will be able to see some of the stuff that I'm reading on the screen behind me. Not everything. I will be like flipping through.
2999.
Did I put it in right?
2999.
I will be flipping through. It's not up there.
You did living room?
Live. They say it's on, but it's not up there. Let me see. Maybe it's because my screen is locked.
Try it again, mirror living room. Or disconnect and reconnect.
Alright. I'm trying to get my screen up there so you guys can kind of read. Is the code up?
Once you do the code once, it should connect automatically.
Tap to connect? No, let's say bar. Tap to connect. Let's say office. Is it office?
It should be living room.
Let's say connected. Got the little check. Okay, so either way, I'll just read it. So one of the first comments that Aaliyah made was, no one's trying to prove that we are not all the same. It's the fact that racists treat us as if we're not even people, and as if our lives don't matter at all. People marched peacefully before, and what did they get? Gassed, attacked by dogs, sprayed by hoes, etc. They don't pay attention unless it costs them money. What makes any of the people out there less educated? Okay, so I tapped into what I meant by.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is it because yours is still connected?
No, I just connected back.
And so Aaliyah, do you want to like elaborate on that?
So yeah, basically what I'm saying is because you're saying that they're less educated. I don't feel like they're less educated. We're all educated about what's going on right now. As far as a solution, because we don't have that answer doesn't make us less educated. It's not like it's a math problem. Like, okay, what's 2 plus 2, and a teacher can come and tell us 4. We've been trying to figure out the answer to try to end racism since before we were born, before probably our fucking parents was born, and all of that. So it's like, how can we sit up here and say they're less educated? It's freedom of speech and it's freedom of self-expression. If that's what they feel like they have to do, or that this is their moment, they feel like they're taking back something that was taken from them, I might not agree with it, but I'm not going to judge them for doing it. I feel like it's unfair to judge people. They're angry, they're mad, that's what they want to do. Fine. I don't care to go out there and do it with you, and I don't care for what y'all doing. But I understand why y'all upset, and this is the way y'all want to express yourself, that's fine. But I'm not going to say, oh, y'all less educated. Like, nobody has a solution. Nobody has the answer. Nobody knows how to end racism. Like, this is a way more complex situation than what I feel like you were making it out to be. That's why I say I don't understand why you're saying they're less educated.
So, and then what I mean by less educated is solution based. So it's not that they're not intelligent, but they're not educated. I feel like we did, like the video, we did this, everything that's happening now, we did it, and it didn't work. So what I mean by less educated is we're doing things that is not going to come. I feel like there's not going to be a solution out of it. Like, there's no real purpose. If this is expressing itself, then by all means. But when it comes to, if you want to read comments, that'll be great since we can't get them up on the screen. I'll give you, like, I'll let you know when to do that. If you want a card, and you could, like, write down the stuff people saying.
I'll just scroll through.
All right, that works too. And I expressed that. And then we had some people come in. There were people talking about that was for the cause. But we're going to get into like some actual like topics that we jot down and some questions and topics that we want to go over, and then we'll go into some of the stuff that other people were saying. So go ahead, Dave. You could.
What, say a question?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Alright, so do you agree that your friends of other races should be taking a stand against the racism that's happening today? What you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Now I got a question to piggyback off of that, but of course I feel like if I have a friend, and I do, that sees what's going on, that they should definitely be standing against it, because it's, in all reality, it's not right. And I feel like I'm not like always a right and wrong person. There are some gray areas, but when it comes to this, there's a right and a wrong to me. There is no gray area on what's going on when it comes to races being divided and how races are being held to a certain standard, and how, or even being pulled back from being greater. So I definitely feel like if you're outside of my race, and that's the thing with me, like if there was another race that was being treated the way we're being treated, I would stand against it.
Right.
There's no, it's not just because I'm black and it's happening to black people. If I was black and it was happening to Asian people, I would still stand against it, especially if I had an Asian friend. Like, it wouldn't be, and if you're not black and you're my friend and you're not standing against it, then are you really my friend?
I seen a lot of people, when people was like, oh, well, just because they not black and they my friend, I feel like they shouldn't have to say anything. My whole thing is, if you're my friend personally, if I know you, you're my friend, and we go out, we talk every day, you came to be like my friend, what's happening to people that look like me, it could have been me.
Yeah.
Like, period. It could have been me. It could have been my child. So it's not a matter of, I feel like I shouldn't say nothing because I'm not black. No, you should. This is way bigger than any of us at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you just being silent, listen, I'm the type of person, if you're not gonna be vocal about what side you're on, I'm gonna assume you're with the other ones. So I need you to stand your ground and say what the fuck you want to say.
They say picking no side is picking a side.
No message is a message. If you're not going, and it's not like I don't need like you to come out and protest with me.
Right.
I just need you to do something. Anything is better than you just sitting back and doing nothing. You can sign a petition. You can go out and donate to the bailout cause. You could, I don't give a fuck if you slide somebody a little bowl of milk if they just got mates to gas or something. Like, do something.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't sit by and have friends that aren't black that sit by and think that this is okay. Because that's what I'm thinking in my head when you're sitting back chilling, just thinking everything is regular, and then you just, like, not sticking up for us.
Right. So, speaking of, and that, I was going to say something. So, just to let you guys know, we're going to be jumping all over this episode. Just because sometimes random topics or something that something she say might trigger something that I'm thinking, or vice versa. So, just bear with us. But, you talk about sliding milk to somebody who got maced. I watched a video of a little girl. Now, she might have been 8. The oldest, she was 8, who got maced. And this was in the middle of the street. I'm not sure if it happened in Philly, because there's so many videos now going up that you can't really, unless they tell you where it is, you can't even pinpoint where this is going on. So, but yeah, she had to be like 8, and she got maced. Like, and they was pouring milk on her face, and she was crying. She was a little Caucasian girl. But at the end of the day, that's a child.
Right.
And race don't come into play when it's a child. So one of my questions was, how would you feel if your child was out there looting and being a part of all of the chaos? Now, this is whether at a young age, because like I said, she was 8, she was probably out there with a parent, and she might have been one of them people who were out there for the protest, not for the looting, and got caught in the mix.
Okay.
Also, there's like our parents. How would our parents feel? Yeah, it's a bunch of questions. So we could just get into that. When it comes to children, I'm now at the age where I feel like it's a lost cause for us. Unfortunately, like, if it gets better for us at our age, I would love that. But I feel like now we have to now set the precedence for our children.
So you wouldn't want them to be?
No. Hell no. I had two male black kids. So, God forbid they were out there and just so happened to get caught. What would happen then? Because now my son has the potential to be a George Floyd.
Right.
So, no, I wouldn't want them out there. I would definitely want them to do something to contribute to what's going on in a positive way, but not out there in that chaos. No. So how would you feel if, like, let's say Maury was 18. So he now at the age of, technically he grown. How would you feel if you found out he was out there?
I wouldn't feel no type of way if he was out there protesting. I wouldn't want him to be out there looting, but It all depends. It's like a lot of questions there. Like, if at a young age, now at 8, I personally probably wouldn't have took my son to a protest. Only because I know the type of things that can happen. And it's not just about the looting, because even at peaceful protests that are supposed to be peaceful, the cops been known to shoot rubber bullets and mace people and attack people and hit them with nightsticks for absolutely no reason. Even if they antagonize people out there because they don't want them out there.
Right.
It's been plenty of times where that's happening. So I wouldn't take my child to a protest, period. Now at 18, it all depends, because at the same time, although he's in my eyes, you're still a child. You're not 21. You're not legal. So no, I don't want you out there.
What if he wasn't living with you?
If he wasn't living with me, I can't really say that.
Okay.
Because then what if at 18, what if he's away at college? It's a protest out there. He decides to go. I can sit up here and say, oh, I want to. Hey, I don't want you out there. But if he goes, he goes.
Okay.
And it all depends on what he's out there for. Now, I would want him to stand up for what he believes in, period. I don't want him to fear what's going on, but I want him to understand what's
definitely,
going on.
Definitely.
That's the difference. I don't want him to feel like he got to go out here and be scared. I don't want him to feel like he has to go out here and just be like, oh, or say, I don't want to go outside.
Right.
I want him to be able to move freely, but I just want him to be aware of the fact that this is happening. Unfortunately, the reality is they don't give a fuck about your life, and I need you to be careful. And it's like, and in this day and age, how do you tell a child to be careful when somebody's getting shot while they're jogging? How do you tell a child to be careful when they sleep in their bed? They running up in people's houses. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hard. So I don't want to keep him sheltered like he's a baby, because then when he's get older, he's going to look to me for everything. I need him to have a mind of his own. So in retrospect, no. I probably at 18, I wouldn't want him to, but the rebel in me will be happy that he's standing up for himself. So I'm on both ends of the stick with that. Like,
so
that's still my baby.
Just to hear from a follower who actually commented. Now, we did decide to do this live last minute, so we don't have a bunch of comments and a bunch of feedback, and that's why we're going live, just in case if you guys have anything to say. So we're going to tap into some comments that you guys have in a little bit. But on Instagram, somebody said, if my son can look me in the face and tell me what he's fighting for and why, and more importantly, what he plans to do daily to build up the black community after the riots are over, then yes. Looting, I'm neutral on. Not really helpful. Long-term government buildings are more effective to go after. So that was a post from one of our followers. I also had somebody else who said something about government buildings and going after things like that. Now, her post was a lot longer, but
that's a whole.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read all this. But she did mention government buildings and places that would actually be affected if you did destroy them.
Okay.
So do we have anything about children in our comments? Did anybody say anything about children being involved?
What's that long comment?
I have that. She was talking about the 8-year-old. She said that she wasn't there for the protest or for the loot, and her mom was trying to get home, and she got mixed. So that's what happened with that. Hold on one second. But yeah, I feel like with protesters going the way they go now, I would love if peaceful protest was a thing. I would love to take my oldest son, who is 14, to a protest so we could see that.
Right.
But with the way protests go now, it's not.
They always go south.
Yeah, it's not safe. It's not.
Yeah.
Watch it on the news, and then even with that, it's still exposing him to. In all reality, at 14, he has to be exposed to what's going on because this is his reality. This is the world he lives in. Unfortunately. All right, so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna get into one of the questions that I posted on our page. Now this was not a 2-part question. It was 2 questions asked by the same person. And it's actually going to bleed into one of your questions, but we got a bunch of negative feedback, and I'm all for the feedback, negative, positive, whatever the case is. But there was 2 questions that I posted at one time, and that was probably my mistake. I probably should have posted them separately. But one of them said, what if the cop was black? And I about the cop that in the George Floyd incident.
So
if I'm not mistaken,
killed George Floyd with a black cop.
what if it was a black cop? It still wouldn't be okay. And that's my answer to it. I don't know why the color of the cop matters, but I guess because I feel like people are more enraged because it was a white cop.
No, I'm not. Wait. Read it. I'm not.
No, go ahead.
No, because what I'm gonna say is, I don't really think it's a matter of whether it's black or white. It's the repercussions that come along with what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We automatically know that if a black person kills another black person, they going to fuck the jail. It's not no deep investigation. It ain't no you get to keep your job and you still get paid while you sit at home. You're done. You're fired. You're going to jail. When it's a white person, it's we're investigating.
Okay.
Oh, he was a good person. Oh, the 4 people that was with him said it was an accident.
Okay.
We don't get that. We don't get that ever.
You know what's disgusting and crazy to me? I saw a few different videos when it comes to the George Floyd incident. Mm-hmm. And I saw one video and they said that the cops were in the car. Now, you can't see what's going on in the car.
Okay.
But it said the cops was in the car beating him up. And then took him out the car. And I watched it, and like I said, you can't really see, but it's definitely a possibility that could be what was happening. But you're saying that if it was a black cop, he would be fired. It wouldn't be.
It'd be done. It'd be
fired, and it'd be like a murder charge.
I hate that when a white person or
it's always an investigation.
It's always
death
administrative leave,
all of
or
it.
He still has an option of whether or not he's going to get this pension. No, if it was a black person, you're done.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
Same thing if it was like my question was, why do people feel the need to bring up black on black crime?
So that was the next question with this post. So in addition to, now this was a question that a friend on Facebook had posted, and I reposted. Okay. And like I said, he posted both questions. The next question was, why don't we riot when blacks kill blacks? Because
we're rioting to make a difference.
Okay.
Like I said before, when black people kill black people, they go to jail. It is nothing about it. We don't have to say, oh, we hope they get life. We hope they get first degree murder. Shit, sometimes they get fucking sentenced to death.
Yeah.
But when somebody else is doing it, aka a white cop, it's all this static running. And then what I hate the most is that they go into the black person's background. I don't give a fuck if I was a goddamn.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I never liked it. I never liked it. I feel like after Trayvon Martin, I felt like every black person that was killed either by a cop, they always dig into their past. And it's like, why does who they were, whether past, present, or something they planned, matters when it comes to their life being taken?
Because that's what they're going to do. They want to try to assassinate.
That doesn't justify it.
And try to justify the fact that, you were a bad person anyway. You probably would have did something when you got older anyway. You know what they showed of Trayvon Martin to try to make him seem like a bad person? He had his middle finger up in pictures. He's fucking, 15, 16? Mm-hmm. What fucking 15, 16-year-old you don't know that's fucking putting their middle finger up or probably rapping some lyrics they shouldn't be rapping. Like, he's a kid.
Now, what I will say when it comes to blacks killing blacks, I still feel like there's something that we as a community still should feel some type of way about it.
It do. We should.
Because it happens often. And a lot of times it's for nonsense. So it's not okay, but we're kind of giving them the okay to do it because we're doing it to each other.
But are they not doing it to each other too?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they are.
Exactly. So that's why I don't understand why they bring it up.
They don't care. I feel like they don't care as much as we do. Like, if a white cop, now this is what I'll ask. If a white cop kill a white person, that's not that big of a deal. And no, what I'm saying is we don't hear about it like we do when a white cop kills a black person.
Because it's not something that's happened repeatedly.
Right.
I feel like since Trayvon Martin, which was one of the most televised things that I remember.
Me too.
Trayvon Martin is like been a fucking snowball effect. Every fucking year, every other couple months is another hashtag.
Prior to Trayvon Martin, I feel like I was completely, I had like rose-colored glasses on. Like I didn't really see a lot of police brutality. My experience with police is not negative at all. Like, I have people I know personally who are police officers who are also African American. So, like, I don't have a lot of bad experiences with police officers. Trayvon Martin was the start for me.
And it wasn't even with a police officer. He was fucking neighborhood watch.
Right. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go there. That wasn't even a police officer killing a young black child. That was a civilian killing a young black child. And that still was crazy, is the conviction for that was still, like, why do we have to fight so hard for people to be punished for crimes they clearly committed? Like, there's no gray area there. There's no nothing.
They created that gray area once they went to court because they made it seem like, oh, he was this thug. He was walking around with a hoodie on, and even in the video,
reasonable doubt was supposed to be a thing in court.
You can literally hear Trayvon screaming, and they said it was him screaming.
Right.
A 30-something-year-old man, almost 200-something plus pounds, on this little skinny ass boy. I don't care how tall Trayvon was. He's skinny as shit. You on this boy.
And he was a child.
A child.
And that's like the biggest thing. I don't care.
Trying to make a citizen's arrest.
My 14-year-old is almost taller than me. So because he's tall and black, A, he might fit the description because we know that's a thing. But when it comes to the racism and things that's going on, that was my first experience with it. That's what, like, really opened up my eyes to it, because prior to that, I didn't really experience anything. Like, I've worked in a lot of office buildings where there's a lot of people outside of my race, and I'm never really, now granted, there's some things that are underlining things and little things that people say when it comes to racism that could be, that I've dealt with, that could be categorized as racism, but it couldn't be confirmed. So it's like, you could say, oh, that's because they doing that because I'm black.
Right.
Like, when I wear my natural hair. Things like that, people look at you and treat you differently. But I think after Trayvon Martin, like you said, it's snowballed.
Yeah. And
it's starting to be so often now.
That is almost like the norm, and I refuse to normalize it.
Yeah, no. That's not a thing. So, blanketed statements was something that I posted about, because a lot of people make statements and say, black people, this, that, and third. White people, this, that, and third. They use words like they and them. And when you spoke about, do you think that your friends outside of your race should stand up for what's going on? That plays a part in that, because I never want to group people in. So even though right now we're dealing with things with Caucasian people, I know Caucasian people personally, and there's some black people who just are putting everybody in that category.
No, I'm not putting everybody in that particular category when it comes to white people and white people that I'm friends with. That's two totally different things. I don't expect every white person, because I don't know every white person. The ones that I know personally, that I hang out with, that I consider to be my friend, that word friend holds weight.
Yeah,
I don't call you my friend for anything. So it's like, I can't have somebody on my side and I don't know what side you're on.
Right.
Because if it really came down to it, and it's black people and we're really getting beat the fuck up or whatever it be, like now, I need to know, what do you really think about this? Like, what do you really think about me? It's my people that's being killed out here, and you really don't have anything to say. It's about confirmation for me now. It's like, even though I don't think you're racist, I don't think, we could be cool for many years. But now I need to know what side are you really on?
Right.
Because if you really just want to sit here, there is no such thing as being neutral right now.
Yeah.
There's no neutral. You have to pick a side. Are you for racism or are you not? It's not about. I'm not trying to group you. If I was trying to group you, I'd sit up and say, "Fuck it, we can't be friends anymore because all white people are racist." That's me putting all y'all together. I'm not gonna put all y'all together because I know you personally. But for the people, some of the people that I don't know personally, or the people that's out here killing cops, or the people that's out here defending the people that are out here killing cops, I know what side y'all on.
Right.
But for my friend, the person that I'm with, the person that I probably talk on the phone with or go out with, yeah, I need to know. Like, how do you feel about that?
So how do you feel about cops? Because, all right, so, and I don't know if you want to get into it, but what is your experience with the police? Like, have you ever had an incident or anything where you had to deal with police
I did
in
last year.
close county?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that and how that went, and what's your perspective on interacting
To be
with cops?
perfectly honest, I don't think the cop was an asshole. However, I do feel like he was a little assumptuous when it came to the incident that occurred.
Okay.
He didn't give me a real chance to explain what was going on. He kind of just already had in his hand like, oh, yeah, you're basically, I got pulled over, and he assumed that I was under the influence, which I wasn't.
Okay.
I literally came from a different state. I didn't really sleep that much. I literally was driving for 8 hours, then had to drive for another 3. And by the time he pulled me over, I was fucking exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
So he looking at me, oh, well, he was just making little stupid assumptions like, oh, well, your eyes are red. And mind you, I have my son with me. So you're making me get out of the car while my son is in the back seat and making me do a sobriety test. I clearly passed the sobriety test. And then it's like, you still arrest me anyway.
So you got arrested in front of your son?
I got arrested in front of my son.
Okay.
And then, even when I finally got stuff in the mail, when it came to the DUI and everything, he lied on the statement. He said that, oh, my eyes were red, that I couldn't focus, I failed the sobriety test, my breath smelled like alcohol. It was all types of statements and stuff in here coming down to it. I took a blood test, nothing was in my blood. So it's like,
okay,
although he wasn't an asshole to me per se, it's the fact that you could just let me go.
Right.
Because clearly I passed the sobriety test. I know I passed the sobriety test. You could have let me go. You didn't have to lock me up in front of my child. But you allowed all that to happen for nothing. And then what made me so mad is because they claimed that, oh, you have the right to, face your accuser, and he never came to court.
Okay, so do you want to disclose the race of the officer?
He was white.
He was a white officer. Okay. So I think with me, and I was talking to, I forget who I was talking to, a friend of mine, but when it comes to my encounters with police, it has been like speeding tickets, inspections expired. Like, I've never really had any close encounters with police. It's just not, like, my lifestyle doesn't really put me in a situation where I would be encountered with police. Like, even when it comes to, and I ride a motorcycle, and a lot of people might talk smack because I'm not doing 180 on the expressway. But that's because I'm not trying to get chased by no cop, because I'm probably not going to stop, and I'll probably wind up dying trying to get away from the cop. So I be chilling. But even with my speeding tickets, they haven't been bad experiences. Like, they pulled me over, 9 times out of 10, I know I was speeding. Like, I ain't even going to trip. I give them my info, they give me a ticket, I keep it moving. Like, it's never been anything bad for me. So when I hear other stories from people, I just be like, damn. And then I think about the cops that I know personally, and I'm like, I don't see them doing this.
Right.
But they're black cops. So that might make a difference. I've heard that there are now cops getting fired because they're speaking out about what's going on.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's beyond crazy. But, alright, so now I see a lot, like, prime example, I made a post, and I'm going to go into that just to give you guys an example of what I mean by the question that I'm about to ask. So, I made a post. Now, excuse me, y'all, for going through my phone. My bad. But all in all, I made a post that had nothing to do with race. It was more about the looting. But my question, are we racist now? Because I feel like a lot of black people now, like, I tell people about experiences I have at work, and a lot of questions, or any kind of experience with anybody, and a lot of times people be like, was they white? As if that justifies what I'm going through. So now are we justifying certain situations and certain experiences with other people and the things they do because they're white?
think we're racist. Like, him asking whether they white, it was probably because of something that you asked, like you said, about wearing your natural hair. There are plenty of jobs where, you know, white people are the head of their department, and they don't like when people wear their natural hair. So I feel like that was kind of assumptuous for them to think, okay, are they white? But I don't think it's necessarily justifying. It's just like, I don't think we're racist. We're just more aware of the things that go on. Like, when we were younger, we probably never really thought about shit like this. But with everything going on now, I'm not gonna lie, I am looking at a lot of white people funny. Like, I'm not friends with every white person at my job. I have a job where people travel all the time, passengers. Now I'm not scared of them, but I am opposed. Like, I really just know now that I can't really put nothing past you. Mm-hmm. Like, before, it's like, oh yeah, they white, they just do that. But it's like, now when people, like, even just the other day, I think I was buying a sandwich or something from the store, and I just paid attention to the fact that I put the money in the lady's hand, and she put it on the table, and I'm just like,
instead of putting it in your hand.
Does she do that because she didn't want to touch my hand, or, you know, we got coronavirus going on right now? Is that why? And she didn't have gloves on, so it's like, I don't want to assume, but now it's like, being as though everything that's going on, I'm really paying attention. Mm-hmm. And it's just bringing my awareness about, like, damn, did she do that because she doesn't really like black people? Or did she do that because she doesn't want to get wrong? Like, it's like, and now I'm just like really thinking about it.
So now I posted a picture. I had the post that I was talking about. I posted a picture of a sneaker store that was being boarded up. Mm-hmm. And the comment was, but those are white people. Because it was white people that was boarding it up. Okay. And I said, what does that have to do with anything? Her comment was, nothing harsh about the photo. It said that we're going to be blamed for it all. Like, the media and people post people looting mostly black and brown people only. And I just feel like it's not just our people. Like, they show on the news that KOP is vandalized. The majority of people catch the bus to get there, and it's like 30 minutes from the city. So who is looting in KOP? And hearing from people who live up there stating that bricks are already set up outside the mall, I'm just saying they should capture everyone. So let's talk about the media and how they're painting the picture of what's actually going on.
But to be perfectly honest, there were a lot of photos that I saw with white people in it, going in videos of the people going in and out of them stores. So I can't really say that they're not broadcasting. Right. I will say they showing us a lot more.
So before we get into who's looting and who's doing what, do we have any comments on Facebook that we want to address? Is anybody saying anything?
We just had the one comment from Terry that said it's not a racism thing anymore. It's a humanity thing at this point. Okay. So if all my friends, no matter what the color of their skin, is not concerned with humanity, they are not my friends.
Okay. So that's cool. They sound neutral.
You said they sound neutral?
They sound neutral. They said it's not a race thing anymore. It's a humanity thing.
That's tied into it, though, because they're basically not even treating us like we're people.
I mean, I think they're saying that it's everybody as a person, right?
Read that comment one more time.
It's not a racism thing anymore. It's a humanity thing at this point. So if all my friends, no matter the color of their skin, is not concerned with humanity, they are not my friends.
So they're saying if you're not concerned with people in general and everything that's going on with everybody, then you're not my friend. Because they're saying that not only black people are affected, even though we're affected, it seems like the most, they're saying that everybody is affected by what's going on. And if you don't care about what's going on in general, then you're not my friend. Yeah. So, I get that. But that's also... Okay, I'm not going to go there. So... What was I about to say? I was about to say something.
Well, I did have a comment on what you said about the media, how the media portrays it.
That's where we was going. Go ahead.
So yeah, they just like Lee said, they show white people. I've seen all races partaking in the riots.
There was a lot of them.
But what I did notice is that when they describe the riots or the cause, because there's a reason why they're rioting.
Yeah, definitely.
So when they describe these particular rioters, they call them thugs. Mm-hmm. They use these terms. I've seen the media. Yeah, I've seen the media cover other riots of white people. Maybe they want to
protesters.
They want, or like when white people riot because they won a game, or if they lost the game, or they'll say, "Oh, these misguided people," or they'll use it's
they
the
call
words.
fans.
It's the
If
words
there's
that
a
they
fan
use.
involved,
Yeah.
yes,
Wording.
words are definitely important. So when it comes to the picture that they're painting first of all, the media, let's just say Philly is currently shut down, even though technically we was already shut down because of the virus. The virus is what made me hate the media, even though I do media. Like, technically this is media, but the way that media covers things are ridiculous. And I now feel like we live in a time where you can't even believe what's going on in the news. Like, you can't believe what reporters are saying, because when it came to the virus, numbers was wrong. Now, granted, I know everything was changing on a day-to-day, but numbers was wrong. It was over-exaggeration going on. Mm-hmm. And then when we're involved in the media, they always paint us as the bad guy. So that's the thing.
Like, it's not even every source of media, because there's some people in the media that's not calling us thugs or whatever the case may be. But that's why I say it's making me pay attention. Mm-hmm. Because you could have easily just said the residents in Philly.
Right.
You could have easily called us anything else, just the people. I don't give a fuck what you would have said. But to say thugs, and even to go as far as for people to say animals, it's just like, really? Oh, okay, I'm paying attention now. Because before, I probably, when it comes to, even with the coronavirus, I didn't watch the fucking news. I didn't watch the news. What I did was listen to the CDC website and say, what did they think we should do? Okay, wear masks. Okay, stay 6 feet away from each other. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And I listened to whatever they told me to do at my job as far as staying safe. I'm not watching the fucking news because I don't really want to see the numbers. I don't really want to see, if you sneeze the wrong way, you might catch corona. People were speculating at that point, because all the time, the news people that report on the news all the time, that shit ain't always facts. It's them going off of what somebody else say or another source or what they got from here. They weren't reporting directly from the CDC, so I didn't really give a fuck what they was talking about.
All right, Famous, you guys, a comment for us?
Yeah, actually, concerning the news media, see, a lot of people think the news media is like what you see on Spider-Man when he says, go out and find me a story and bring back a story, and they think that's how it's run. Like, they go out there, they find the story, they bring it back, they fact check it. No. The news, when they report, the news is actually given to them. Mm-hmm. Right. They're not going out and finding the story. Right. They already know. They know what they're going to report. Exactly. Yeah. They know what they're going to report. They know what they're going to talk about. Basically, their job is to go out and just take pictures, but that coincides with the story they've already been presented. Right. That's why a lot of the news media is in general 3, 6, 10, 29. All of them say the exact same thing because it all comes from the same source.
Yep. All right, so Lee, let's get into one of your topics.
My last topic was, why are there no civil rights leaders in 2020?
So
I don't know. We get some first.
Let's piggyback on that. Our reason for now, in all reality, this was a question from Famous. Well, this was a topic that Famous brought up that we came up with a question for. So with the looting, my thing, I was talking about solutions in the post that I made where me and Aaliyah was going back and forth. And I love this platform because when we have difference of opinions, because we talk so much, we can bring it to you guys, and you guys can tell us your opinions, and we could agree to disagree or come to an agreement or whatever the case is. But one of my things was, we did this. Right. This, what's going on right now, happened years ago. And I'm going to piggyback on that on another project that we're actually going to work on coming soon. But nothing has changed. I feel like everything I've learned about in history in class when I was in elementary school, high school, this is that. Now I'm living it. Now this is real life.
Living history.
Yeah, it's like history repeating itself. And my thing is, we're doing the same exact thing. Where is the result? And I feel like I think that even if I had to pinpoint something specific, voting. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to an aunt of mine who is like a little up there in age. So she was around for the civil rights movement and for fighting for your rights and doing all of that. They got results. So they did all the craziness, and I'm pretty sure there were some peaceful protests, and there was some not so peaceful protests. But at the end of it, we got some kind of results, even if it's voting. Even if it was, the segregation that happened. We're talking about June is next month. We talk about Juneteenth. There was results there. And what I hope for and I try to be optimistic about is that we're doing all of this for a reason. There needs to be a result to it. And Famous had mentioned the difference between now and then is there's no leaders.
That is true.
There's really nobody stepping up and saying, whether it's peaceful or not, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and this is the results we want from it.
I mean, what you're saying is true, because we have done this before, but to be honest, we were looking for results in a time that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Before they couldn't vote, before they couldn't go to the same schools, couldn't go to the same restaurants, couldn't use the same water fountains, they couldn't go to the same churches.
And those were the things
those were things they were fighting for.
Right.
Right now, even though they rioted, even though they protested, they never got a clear answer to how to end racism as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're fighting for today.
Okay.
Because today we could sit on wherever we want on the bus. We could go to the same churches, white people use the same water fountain, go to the same movie. We could do all of that. The fact of the matter is they still don't treat us equal. I don't give a fuck what's in the Constitution. I don't care what Malcolm X and Martin Luther King did. Everything they did back then, no, it's not going in vain because you did make a difference. However, we're using old tactics for us. The problem that's way older than them.
Yeah.
This problem is way older than them.
But
it's just, I feel like we're doing this out of frustration. Nobody has an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Before, they're like, oh, we protest and we get seen, they're going to see us and they're going to make change, which happened. Now we're trying to protest and we're trying to, do things peacefully and riot and loot. We don't know what's going to happen from this, but at the same time, I feel like we know we need a new tactic and we know we need to do something, but we don't know what it is. We're lost.
So what I was saying is that's what I meant by less educated when I made that statement in my post. And we talked about solutions and we're gonna get into that, but with them it was certain things they wanted and it was certain things they did to get it.
Right.
And I feel like right now, racism as a whole, in all reality, I feel like there's no end in that because racism is a per person thing. And at the end of the day, if I'm a white person, I don't like black people, there's nothing you can do to make me like black people. I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. It's about the blatant lack of respect. Okay.
They do not respect us. They turn there's a lot of them, I'm not going to say everybody because I don't want to generalize them, but there's a lot of them that turn their nose up at us. Mm-hmm. When they see black people walk past me in their car, they lock their fucking doors.
For absolutely no reason.
For absolutely no reason. They automatically think we're uneducated. When plenty of people that I know have fucking college degrees or just are smart as shit, intelligent people. We're not all just dumb. We're not all doing drugs. We're not all out here with 5 and 6 different baby dads. That's what they think when they see us.
And even against that,
you feel what I'm saying?
Let's just say we are educated. Because we have African Americans who have gone to Ivy League schools and graduated and have great careers and make good money. They don't like them either.
Yeah.
So, but you can't, I feel like hatred is something that you can't, there's no solution for that.
The fact of the matter is hatred and racism is taught. That shit ain't hereditary.
Right.
You teach somebody that. When the racist white people have kids, they say, oh, you're better than that black person. Black people are the scum of the earth. Back then, we weren't even people. We were property. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I don't feel like there's a solution. But the same way you coexist with a motherfucker that you don't like, is the same way how they need to coexist with us. If you don't fucking like me, I don't give a damn if you don't like me or not. But the fact that you could sit up here and kill me and get away with it, that's not gonna slide. Yeah. The fact that you could shoot a man while he's jogging, that shouldn't slide. The fact that you could shoot somebody while they're sleeping and basically almost get away with it. Like, why is it 3rd-degree murder? That's fucking murder, plain and simple. Mm-hmm. It should be that. That's why I don't understand. It's just like this government and the things that they allow to happen with black people is just not right. They treat They will fucking riot if we sit up here and kill 3 dogs right now in the street and record it. But you record a black man getting killed with a fucking cop with his hands in his pocket, his knee on this motherfucker's neck, and it's, oh, well, let's investigate. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are we investigating?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
When it comes to solutions, because we talked about that, there ain't nothing in that cup, yo. Like, nothing. There's nothing in that cup. So, can we just point out this the first episode where Aaliyah finished her drink before me and I don't look like an alcoholic? Like, let's just talk about that.
I don't know, I'm fired up.
I just wanted to pinpoint that. So, when we talk about solutions also in the comments, and Aaliyah sparked the flame for me, which doesn't happen often. Most time people don't. Me and Aaliyah talk on a regular basis,
right.
And when we started the comment in the post, I hit her up and was like, "Shh, don't say nothing else. We gonna do a live." She talked about solutions, and she was saying that if you're gonna present a problem, you should also present a solution.
Right.
And I was telling her that when I said less educated, I also talked about myself, because at the end of the day, I don't know how to solve this. Like, it's literally countrywide, and I think that last year with me traveling, even though I didn't see the things that was going on in other states, it made me realize that like, we're not in a bubble. It's not just us. We're not the only ones dealing with anything when it comes to police brutality and racism. It's not just us. It's happening everywhere. Right. Like, it's ridiculous. And I had family outside of Philly. So when it comes to a solution, she had mentioned, she was like, you plan events. How about you do something this, that, and the third? And I was like, well, I plan an event and nobody come. What's the point? Right?
Right.
So I'm more of regular basis type thing. I feel like we get riled up when something happens. But when nothing is happening, we're worried about so many other things. And somebody had mentioned on the comment also, like, organizations who work towards these kind of issues and things like that. And I'm all for those. But we need to support each other more.
That's true.
That's a big thing. We talk about black-owned businesses, and it's so much competition, and it's so much drama, and so much pettiness. If we were to actually get together and do something, it would probably be beautiful. Even if we don't actually come up with a solution. Because, like I said, when it comes to racism, if you have that hatred in your heart, no matter what we do as black people, you're still going to feel the way you want to. But it will show that if you don't like us, it's now us against you. And we're a lot bigger. Because there's a lot of black people, like, we deep.
Right.
There's a lot of us. Like, so when it comes to solutions, I'm definitely open to doing more.
Yeah, especially within the community, like you said, it's no civil rights movement.
And my big thing is on a consistent basis. We can't only do this when a cop kills a black person or when a white person kills a black person. This is something we need to do on a consistent basis.
Right. Because
I feel like now their mentality is, oh, they just mad right now, they'll get over it.
Right.
Because that's what happened.
That's the only thing is, I just didn't want to speak on that because, to be perfectly honest, we don't really know if it is of any organizations. Just because we don't know of any civil rights leaders in Philly, we can't really say that there aren't any.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure there's some.
Yeah, like,
there's no way that everything is happening and there's nobody doing anything about it.
There's gotta be somebody like
there's
right there in the forefront. So I don't want to say there's any, but let's say if there is any in Philly, we'd like to get to know you.
By all means, reach out to us.
Reach out to us. Whatever it is that you have, what organization you run, we'd like to support. Because like I said, like I was telling Purple, like when I said plan an event, I'm not saying that you're gonna plan a march and it's gonna happen tomorrow.
Right,
what I'm saying is like change starts within ourselves.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
even if we can't get, even if you have an event and only 2 people come, just because you feel like only 2 people came, that doesn't mean you didn't do anything.
It's
You
a
did
start.
something. It's a start.
It's a start.
So it starts
you gotta
within
start
yourself.
somewhere.
So we would like to know if it's any organizations in Philadelphia.
Not to mention that we know quite a few people.
Right.
You know, we're a little connected, a little something. So definitely stay tuned for that. Let's see. And I think that's about it. In all honesty, like, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Okay. Well, everybody who came into the live, who slid into the live, we appreciate you. Everybody who comments on posts and things like that. I was explaining to a friend of mine that a lot of episodes are regular episodes that you see we record ahead of time. So you might see an episode, a regular episode, and we recorded it a month ago.
Right.
Because we're talking about dating and relationships, it don't matter when we drop that. But this, you guys are going to get immediately.
Make sure y'all following us on everything. Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's on Facebook. Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's on Instagram. Cocktails and Convo with 2 S's on YouTube. And make sure y'all catch up on any past episodes that y'all haven't seen. But more importantly, definitely tune in for this one.
Yes. And as you guys can see, we don't just talk about dating. We're not like super bully crazy and all of that. We talk about other stuff too. We try to not report news stuff.
Yeah, we don't really like to
We're
be so,
more...
we like to be like...
We're not fact checkers.
We
don't
like to
do
be...
all that.
We're happy hour. We're not 9 to 5.
Right. So we tell y'all how we feel about stuff.
Yeah.
We want to hear about how y'all feel about stuff. We agree to disagree. Like, as you guys can see, if you actually check out my post, me and Aaliyah, we don't agree on some stuff.
Right.
But we still coexist. We still can be friends. We don't have to have the same mentality or the same outlook on things.
Exactly.
As
it should be
still
within
coexist.
everything in the
Yeah.
world.
Like, just because you don't agree with something, that don't mean you don't like the person or, you know, any of that. So, like she said, thank you for watching, and until next time.